and every one of you are beautiful people to be here helping us celebrate the magnificent gift that PHW is about to bestow on us. I have to say, however, that PHW, for years now, in my experience, has been so supportive of WLT. It's ongoing. Today, what's going to happen today is we're here and we're going to hear a couple of very fine remarks from a couple of very fine gentlemen. We're also being joined by the honorary chair of our restoration campaign, Marjorie Lewis, who is at right now a Shenandoah University board retreat. She is being installed in June as the chairperson, I think, of the SU board. So she is taking time out from that, which she has flown in from vacation to do, to be with us today. But she's en route and sneaking out the back door. We are also going to hear from John Barker, the president of the PHW Board of Directors, and from Henry Tickner, the WLT president of the Board of Directors. Then we're going to have the magnificent moment here, and then we're going to recreate it outside for the brave souls who can stand the weather. And then one of these two gentlemen, and I'm sure they're flipping a coin, are going to climb the ladder and increase the amount on our beautiful banner that Jeannie Crone made for us that says, "We are on track." Here's Marjorie. Yay! Into the light.
Just to reiterate, thank you all so much for coming. I believe this is the 50th, the golden anniversary of PHW.
Yeah!
Well, I don't think I was born yet either. So. But I can't think of a more appropriate year in which the theater is able to be the recipient of the generosity of PHW. My wife and I have only lived in Winchester a short time, but we've been continually impressed with the efforts to keep Winchester looking unlike a chrome and steel city, but looking the way Winchester ought to look. And we are deeply appreciative to all the efforts there. The theater benefits from PHW also because their board lends us fine actors. Richie Pfeiffer was with us when we did our soul train outside, and that was a wonderful afternoon. And Marjorie, for all of your guidance in the theater, we are deeply appreciative.
Oh my goodness.
It's for those of us who are new to come and learn the history and the richness of this building and all of the people who are a part of it. We have much to be done, a lot of work in the future. Our wonderful team of David Logan and Tim Machado. David is our builder, Tim is our architect, will continue to transform this building so that it is here 200 years from now. The arts are alive and well in Winchester, and we are one of the homes for that, so we're looking forward to having this project completed in the not too distant future. So thank you all very much. And I guess lastly, just to mention that this building, along with the museum, is designated to be part of the State Historic District, so that coming down Amherst to Boscawen, we are the western gateway to the city. And what better way to show off the city than a brand new Winchester Little Theater. So again, thank you all very much. John, on behalf of the Winchester Little Theater.
Now, just because I'm on a stage, forgive me if I break into song and dance. But I do have some cheat notes, it's not very long. Winchester Little Theater has been a good friend to PHW for a number of years now. Probably our biggest effort has been the Bow and Go shop that we hold every year with the holiday house tour. We've held it here, I'm not sure exactly how many years it's been now, but
25.
25.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But this year's Bow and Go shop was our best year ever, and we're proud to say to start off our contribution towards the Winchester Little Theater's restoration as we donated the proceeds from that event. Winchester Little Theater also helps out at holiday house tour time. They provide carolers in period dress, and I know sometimes that's not always the comfortable thing to do with the weather, but they're always there for us, and we also rely on Winchester Little Theater for docents and other help with the house tour. That's something that we're very grateful for, and we know that now it's time for us to return the favor. We're proud to join the Winchester Little Theater in their quest to preserve the history of this wonderful building. It'll ensure future years of performances from the Winchester Little Theater, but also it will preserve the building that's an important part of Winchester's history. The building itself is about 120 years old, and it's very important to the railroad industry that was a big deal in Winchester back in the days. Winchester Little Theater's been here for about 40 years, I believe, and we couldn't think of a better organization or a better project to be part of. Your commitment to this preservation lines up very much perfectly with PHW's mission and goals, and that's to improve tomorrow by preserving by preserving the best of the area's past. But also what we have in common is we're both nonprofit organizations, and we all rely on volunteers to do this work, and that's not an easy task, we all know that. PHW has been very impressed with Winchester Little Theater's generosity, your commitment, your enthusiasm, your creativity, and your contributions to the community. And we look forward to continuing with that. So we are happy to present you with a check for $25,000 for your restoration campaign. We also pledge to continue that support with our members, with our board of directors. And I do want to make a point too that we are just one person of many, and there is no one contribution, no one effort that's greater than the other. I want to also thank all the people that have contributed, whether it be financial or just your tireless efforts. It's a great cause, and I know it's going to be a great project when it's all finished. I do want to thank PHW's board of directors because this is a grant from our board of directors and our membership. Just real quickly, we have with us today, we have Mary Riley and Ed Acker here. We also have Bruce Downing, Nancy Murphy, Richie Pfeiffer, Doug Watson, Sherry Collette, Jimmy Stewart, Sarah Smith, and Kathy Cressy-Giona. And we also have with us the brains and beauty of the organization, Samuel Bosley. That's not exaggerated at all. And I really want to thank Henry and Marjorie and Dolly. Winchester Little Theater's got a great group of people, and you guys should be proud.
Oh, thank
Especially with this away. We're a little crying inside.
Beautiful.
Not realize was the effort began by a piano teacher, Lucille Lozier, a person in the arts, recognized, and somebody who did not grow up here in any way. She came as a much older woman. She recognized the importance of our town's integrity as a historic place. And it was another newcomer, Ray Jennings, who started the revolving fund. And he was a designer at Rubbermaid and came in when that business came here. So here were people who were not Winchesterites, who were the people who really began to preserve this town and had a hard time moving all the rest of us along, I must say. Of course, there were many early signers on, but others were from a history of shearing off the fronts of old buildings downtown. And of course, as everybody knows, the beginning of PHW happened because the Conrad House was coming down for a parking lot. But that effort by people who moved here from somewhere else and recognized the beauty of this place and have preserved it and have made it one of the best places to move to. So my personal thanks as a native of 8 generations is to all of you who are newcomers here, who have made this town and this area an absolutely fabulous place to be. And as far as the theater is concerned, you think back at the people who actually put their shoulders to the wheel around by this building and for this building. I certainly was in that early coterie, but Barbara Swink, Boyd Headley, my mother-in-law, Marion Lewis. They're the ones who had vision and elbow grease and all of the things that put this building on our map as it is now. And I was on the board when we went through the whole business of trying to get all the trim, this is for you, David, the trim painted in Victorian manner so that it began, and I think that began to make this station a rise in the minds of people in our community as an historic place, so that we, I think, are on the tailcoat of people from 40 years looking at this place, not just as a theater, which has been fabulous as a theater, but as a landmark in our community that deserves preservation. And here is a marvelous, marvelous, my old age forgets words. It's one of those things that makes it right. Anyway, and I wish that word would come to me, but never mind. Thank you for that support and that confidence and that generosity.
Oh.
There's a great line from a Kurt Vonnegut play. I think it's got the unlikely title of Tell Me That You Love Me, Elliot Rosewater, or something like that. And one of the characters says, you know, in any transaction involving a large sum of money, there's a moment when it doesn't belong to the seller and the money doesn't belong to the receiver. And that's when the lawyers get it. Dolly, Vaishon, come down here, please. Oh, geez. I would like you to endorse this check and take it to the bank. Yay! Dolly is our visionary. And without her endless hours of cajoling and promising and urging, none of this would happen. And I know that I personally owe her an incredible debt of gratitude. The board is totally appreciative of all of her efforts. And so I'm just going to ask everybody, as you are able and willing, to please stand up.
Now we're going to move outside, as soon as I catch my breath. We're going to move outside for those who are able to bear the cold, and we're just going to have a few more pictures in front of our beautiful banner with our beautiful check and our beautiful folks. And then somebody is going to climb the ladder and increase our red tape by $26,000. Yay!